Best wishes to all. I am Dr. Amrita Chowdhary from Patna Women's College, and today my topic is on Determinism versus Possibilism, a very common yet very important topic of geographical thought that is taught at every level of geography, right from graduation to post-graduation. Now, what is determinism versus possibilism? It is a prominent dualism. Now, dualism is a common phenomenon in the subject of geography. Dualism, that is double meaning or a same concept, a same ideology or a same practice that is understood and practiced in two different manners, and most of the time these are contradicting to one another or in conflicting nature. So dualism has another name, that is dichotomy, and these were quite popular and prevalent as geography was growing and developing as a separate branch of study. So it refers to contradictory and opposite concept. Okay? So when we come across dualism in geography, we find that it is found in three specific fields. Number one, subject matter. The subject matter of geography necessarily revolves around two basic components: nature or physical environment and man. Geography is basically a study regarding the interrelationship between man and nature. So dualism could be seen in the field of subject matter. Second field is methodology. Methodology, the way geography is studied, the way geography is learned, the way geography is taught. So within the framework of broad methodology, dualism was prevalent. And the third field was the branches. It is the third field that is the branches. Now, as geography grew as a subject, it bifurcated into various branches, and often conflicting ideologies emerged regarding the supremacy or importance of the branches. So when we see about the different types of dualisms in geography, the prominent ones we come across, these are determinism versus possibilism, systematic versus regional geography, physical versus human geography, and so on. And the most common, most prevalent is determinism versus possibilism. We use the term versus because these two ideologies contradict each other. These two methods, these two approaches, these two phenomena contradict each other. So this particular dualism, that is determinism versus possibilism, it is associated with the first field of dualisms in geography, that is the subject matter. As I told, geographical subject matter consists of two basic components: man and nature or the physical environment. Among two components, determinism, the concept of determinism, that gives importance to nature, that is the physical environment, supremacy of nature, power of environment. On the other hand, the concept of possibilism, that is basically a human-centric concept emphasizing on the importance of man and his or her abilities. As far as the growth of this particular dualism is concerned, determinism is supposed to be a German concept because basically the German geographers, they promoted this particular ideology, this particular way of the importance given to the geographical subject matter. On the other hand, the second part of this dualism, that is the possibilism, that is considered as a French concept. So let us first deal with the concept of determinism. It was perhaps for the first time propounded by Immanuel Kant in late 17th century. Then the geographers like Ritter, Ratzel, Huntington, these were all German geographers. They supported, they promoted, and they made this concept very popular. Now, what is determinism? In the concept of determinism, it is said that within the broad framework of man-nature interrelationship, nature is all powerful. Human actions, human temperaments, even human physical appearance, human attributes, human characteristics, these are all determined by his or her physical environment. In the environment where man lives, where man resides, that has a very, very strong bearing on the overall activities, overall actions, overall characteristics of a man or a woman. So man is not a free agent. Rather, the promoters of the concept of determinism, they say that man is a simple slave in the hands of his natural setting. And the supporters of determinism, they have given ample examples. For it's common to see that climate has a bearing on our actions or activities or nature or temperament. For example, the people who reside in colder areas, they are considered to be more active, more industrious than those who live in hot areas like Equatorial Belt, the tropical Africa. They seem to be a little lazy. They seem to be little inactive. Now, why this is so? Because the nature or the climate or physical setting or the physical environment has bearing on the activities and temperament and characteristics of man. Even we find that when it is cool climate, we feel a kind of enthusiasm. We feel we are more active. And when it is hot, humid, then we do not feel to work hard. We feel lazy. We feel a kind of inactive. On the other hand, nature has impact on physical appearance or physical strength or physical power of man as well. The people who stay in mountainous areas, it is believed that they have stronger leg muscles. They can walk and run and carry things very easily on the mountain slopes. The people like us who stay in plain areas, we find it quite difficult to walk on mountain slopes, to walk on mountainous areas. So these are some examples that how nature impacts, how nature, physical environment influences and determines human actions, human activities. And that is actually the concept of determinism that emphasizes on the importance and supremacy of nature. There was a famous geographer, Miss E.C. Semple. She was American and she was a very ardent disciple of Ratzel, a famous German geographer. Miss Semple says that man is the product of Earth's surface. So the supporters of determinism, they consider man just as a product of Earth's surface. So man does not have any importance, any caliber, any power of his or her own. He is totally controlled and governed by his or her environment and environmental settings. These are some of the supporters of the concept of determinism. Now, when we come to the concept of possibilism, this is actually contradicting the views given by the determinist geographers. They have said that nature is superior, but the concept of possibilism and the supporters of possibilism, mainly French scholars, they have said that no, nature is not superpower. Nature is not all powerful. What nature does? Nature only provides opportunities. Nature gives opportunities. And man has his knowledge, his intelligence, his wit, his work efficiency, his rational thinking. So, utilizing all these qualities, what man does perfect selection. Man selects within the opportunities provided by the nature, and those selected opportunities man turns into possibilities. So, with the application of his or her knowledge, intelligence, wit, national thinking, skill, work efficiency, these characteristics, these qualities, man utilizes, man applies, man uses to transform, to turn the opportunities into possibilities. That is the concept of possibilism. It does not give much importance to nature. For this concept, nature is only providing opportunities. Nature is only supplier, but the actual implementation of the goods, actual implementation of the services and various phenomena, that is done by man. So it is a totally human oriented concept. So when we consider some of the instances, some of the examples, if we see, the supporters of possibilism, they say that, okay, you say that in hot climate man becomes inactive, but man has invented air conditioners, man has invented different appliances to turn the climatic conditions upside down. So man has made these things possible. The adverse situations with the application of his or her knowledge and intelligence have been turned into supportive situations. For example, if mountainous areas are not suitable for agriculture, that is what the supporters of determinism say. So man has utilized, man has applied knowledge, man has applied techniques, and with the with the support of terraced farming, the hill slopes, otherwise very unfavorable farming lands, those are turned into profitable agricultural belts, agricultural tracts. These Vidal de Blache, a French geographer, he is considered as the pioneer of the concept of possibilism. Then Fabre, Carl Sawyer, these are also very well-known supporters of the concept of possibilism. Now, the followers of determinism, they say nature is superpower. The followers of possibilism, they say man is more powerful. Then where do we come? What is the resolution? How can we resolve this concept? Now, if we see the justification, both of these concepts are partially right, partially wrong. They are not fully right or fully wrong. For example, yes, it is right that nature has all powers and man's activities and actions are controlled and governed by nature, but to a certain extent, because it is also true that man has knowledge and work efficiency and intelligence and skill, so he or she can control or dominate nature, but that also to a certain extent. That is why both concepts are considered partially right or partially wrong and partially wrong. So we cannot say that this is a scientific, this is totally scientific. Dualism cannot be scientific, dualism cannot be fully justified, but both have their own importance, both have their things to prove. So this dualism prevailed for many years, still it is there, and to resolve this, an intermediary concept has come up that is termed as neo-determinism, that tries to resolve the dichotomy, the conflict, the contradiction that is there between these two very important, very prominent concepts of human geography, determinism and possibilism. Thank you very much.